All right. So we're going to get started lying on our back with knees bent and feet on the floor. And I'm going to review this diaphragmatic breath that we've done a couple of times. For most people, this breath is most accessible when you're lying on your back. So we're going to start it lying on our back, and then we will explore trying this breath while we're lying on our side as well. So just begin first by scanning your body and noticing if you need to make any subtle adjustments. Maybe relaxing the shoulders, maybe realigning the feet, and then maybe letting your head just go slowly side to side, just releasing the neck. Welcome, Dee Dee.
Made it back.
Great. So we're going to be doing some upper body, some shoulder release and opening and neck stretches. We'll also incorporate some core.
Okay.
Anything you'd like to add?
Um, Always lower back.
Okay, perfect. So we're starting up. If you have your inflatable ball handy, just have it within reach. And we're starting up on our back with knees bent and feet on the floor. So the diaphragmatic breath, we want to first breathe into the belly. Let the belly expand. Breathe into the ribs. And then release the ribs. Release the belly. And just repeat that. Breathe in belly. Ribs. Breathe out ribs. Belly. One more time. Breathe in belly. Ribs. Exhale ribs. Belly. We're going to add on. Breathe in belly. Ribs, pause, holds the breath in. This is the tricky part. So you've got the breath in, and then think about drawing your belly button into your spine, even though you still have the breath in. And then when you're ready, just exhale. Let's do that a couple more times. This is something that can definitely take just sort of gaining that access to these subtle engagements of the core. So try not to get frustrated if it doesn't feel like it's working. So breathe in belly, ribs, pause. Draw the belly button and navel back, but you're keeping the inhale, you're keeping the inflation, and then exhale, release. So one more time. Breathe in belly, ribs, pause. Draw the belly button back. And then exhale in. Take a couple of just natural breaths. We're going to do one more change up. And this is similar to how we would access Uddiyana Bandha, which is that second root lock. We're going to do it on the exhale. So breathe in belly, ribs. Exhale it all out. Hold the exhale. And then imagine you're drawing that diaphragm up and under the ribs. And then when you need the next breath, allow the breath to come in. We'll do that 2 more times. Breathe in belly, ribs. Exhale it all out. Hold the exhale. Draw the belly button back and up. This is sometimes called the diaphragm vacuum. And then when you feel the desire to breathe in, let it flow in through the nose. One more time. Breathe in belly, ribs. Exhale, ribs, belly. Hold the breath out. Draw the belly button back and think about that diaphragm flying up underneath the ribs. So it's kind of like there's this vacuum suction of the diaphragm being suctioned up under the ribs. And then when you feel the desire for a breath, let the breath come in. And then just return to your natural breath. Welcome, Diane.
Hi.
We're on our backs, and we're going to be using a prop. Some people have these inflatable sort of Pilates balls, but if you have a pillow, a rolled up blanket, or you could even use your yoga mat. So just a couple more natural breaths here. And then you're going to take your prop, whether you're using, and it should be something kind of soft so a block doesn't work as well. And you're going to slide it. You're going to lift up into a bridge pose and you're going to slide it just between sort of at that intersection of the tailbone and the lower back. And now as you breathe in, we're going to do that belly breath again, but we're going to do a belly back breath. So as you breathe in, the belly rises, but think about inflating the lower back also. Now we can't really inflate the lower back, but this is just sort of a visual to get this breath as large and three-dimensional. And then the ribs, and then exhale ribs and belly. So 2 more times. Inhale, belly, ribs. Exhale, ribs, belly. 1 more time. Inhale, belly, ribs, and exhale, ribs. All right, now just let the hips gently sort of rock side to side. Now, I honestly don't know how this is going to work if you have a rolled up blanket. But we'll just do a couple of rounds of this. If you've got the ball, you're just kind of rolling side to side, and this can kind of massage out the lower back. And then you land in the center. We're going to slide that ball out. We're going to roll to our left side and have your prop just above the hip. Now, it can be handy to have a block to support your head here. This can be a really nice release for the lower back because, as you know, everything is connected. So we're kind of approaching the lower back here through the side. So knees are bent. And as you breathe in, let the breath inflate left to right or up and down, sorry. And then as you exhale, relax into the ball. So let's try that 3-part breath here with the ball on the side of your body. Breathe in belly, ribs, hold the breath. Think about drawing the belly button in and back. And then exhale, release. So these are different. So if anyone has any questions on how we're doing this or what we're doing, the idea of doing that engagement with the breath is so that when you let go, you relax more deeply into the ball. And this is addressing not only the muscles, but multiple layers of fascia. So we'll do that 2 more times. Breathe in belly, ribs, hold the breath. And then draw the belly button back and up. And then exhale, release. Breathe in belly, ribs, hold the breath in, then draw the belly button back and up, and then relax. Then we're going to do just a couple of pelvic tilts here, where you round the lower back, and then you arch the lower back. So kind of like cat and cow that we would do on our side, but sorry, we would do on hands and knees, but we're doing it on our side. And just a couple of rounds of this and kind of massaging out the muscles, not only on the side body, but there's a ripple effect. So you may find this shows up in the lower back when we're done also. And then just pause. Now to get to the other side, we're just going to roll onto our back. So that ball or the blanket is just going to sort of travel along the lower back until you come to the right side. And then we'll do those belly rib breaths with a little retention. Breathe in belly, ribs. Hold the breath. Draw the belly button in. And then exhale, release. 2 more times. Breathe in belly, ribs. Hold the breath. Exhale, release. Last one. Breathe in belly, ribs. Hold the breath. Draw the navel back. Exhale, soft. And then a couple of those pelvic tilts. So it can be interesting to notice maybe the pelvic tilts are a little bit easier to articulate on one side as opposed to the other. And then just one more round of this. Let's roll back to the left. And now we're going to slide the prop underneath the upper ribs. So close to the armpit. And again, if you have a blanket or a pillow, that's going near the ribs. As you breathe in, same thing. Breathe in belly, ribs. Exhale, soft. Now, if you can, let your hand rest on the ribs. Now, sometimes this doesn't work for the shoulder, so if it doesn't work, it's no big deal. As you breathe in, you breathe into the hand and the ball, but have the hand sort of pushing down, kind of trying to prevent you. And then exhale, the hand presses and deflates the ribs. 2 more times. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. All right, now let's get to the shoulders. So you're going to take your top hand, your right hand, and you're just going to stretch it past the left hand and then slide it back into the chest. We're going to do that 2 more times. So again, just warming up the shoulder here. And then you'll also get a little bit of a massaging effect along the ribs with the prop that you have underneath you. All right, next time the arm is extended, pause here. Now the challenge here, we're going to work on stretching our shoulder up and around. Keep the knees aligned. So let's do this first one slow. So the right hand, you're stretching up overhead. Now, maybe it doesn't, it's going to leave the ground at some point. And you're extending this arm. So let's just pause as that arm is extending back. Think about creating a stretch between this hip. So this hip, right hip stays forward. So the knees stay aligned. And that's going to accentuate this stretch, this opening. and then the arm comes along the side, and we repeat that 2 more times. Again, you want to keep the lower body as it is. A lot of times in yoga poses, we have sort of the earth element, our foundation. And that creates an opportunity for another body part to expand and stretch. So after you do 3 times, pause here. We're going to reverse this. So now take that right hand down towards your hip. Now very slowly, the palms facing down. You're going to get to a point where you've got probably bone on bone. You can't go any further. Flip the palm up and then continue the rotation. We're going to do this 2 more times. It can be interesting to just notice sort of the relationship between that arm bone and the shoulder socket. Here you're keeping the hips as they are, they're stacked, and the knees are stacked. And then you pause. So we did 3 in each direction. Now let's roll across our back and onto the other side. And so as you're rolling, maybe you're getting a nice little massage along the upper back. All right, so we start with the breath. Breathing into the ribs. Exhale. You can use that hand if you like. Breathe in. Resist. And then use the hand to deflate. Just 1 more. And nice. Extend that left hand. Reach it beyond the right. So feel that arm and shoulder stretch. Then you slide it back. Let it come across. 2 more times. So here we're just kind of lubricating the shoulder joint before we get into those deep stretches. And after the 3rd round, pause. And you're going to stretch the left arm overhead and around. Now watch the hip, watch the knees. I'm going to keep that your foundation. And you may find that having the elbow bent a little bit feels better on the shoulder, because we don't want to feel any tingling or uncomfortable sensation. After 3, you pause. We'll take it in the other direction. So now that left hand moves back towards the feet, and then you get to a certain point and you just stop. Flip the palm up and then continue the journey. 2 more of these. So it can be interesting. For many people, the 2 shoulders are quite different because we have one side that's dominant. And so we use it more often so the muscles can get stronger, but then also tighter. After you've done 3, you pause. Nice. And then let's just slowly make our way up to table. I want to just check in. Did anyone have any questions before we forget, before we move further? Did that feel okay to everybody? All right. So we're in table. Fingers are spread wide. Let's do a little bit of cat and cow. Just get the spine nice and mobile. And don't forget to include the neck as part of the spine. And pause in a neutral spine. Inhale, nice deep breath, and then look over the left shoulder. Shoulder and hips draw towards each other, and then maybe you take the right hand to the outside, fingertips facing towards the feet. Maybe you can imagine you've got that ball on the right side of the ribs, and you're breathing into that ball, and then you sigh. And come back through center. We'll do it on the other side. Deep breath in. Exhale to the right. Come back to the center. And let's do a round of threading the needle. Inhale, the left arm reaches up. Let's just do a couple of circles here. Just and then pause with the arm extended. Thread it underneath the left arm to the outside of that right shoulder. Tent the right fingertips. Then unthread the needle, sweep the arm up, and lower the hand. To the other side. Inhale the right arm up and circle it. On your exhale, thread that right arm underneath the left. And unwind. And come back to your day. Extend the left leg back. Just a little press and release here. Stretch out that calf muscle. Pause here. Extend the right arm forward. Palm facing towards the center. And maybe you lift the left leg. So once again, keep the hips level. So that usually means dropping that left hip a little bit. So this is a great back strengthening pose. Press into that left hand. See if you can get the arm a little straighter, the shoulder a little further from the ear. Lower the right hand down. Take the left leg over to the right, and then look over the right shoulder. Come back to table. Extend the right leg. So press and release. And pause. Extend the left arm. And maybe you extend the right leg. And notice if you dump into the right arm as you lift the right leg, press in and straighten that arm a little bit more. We call this root to rise. And notice how the shoulder moves away from the ear a little bit. Lower the left hand down and take that right leg over to the left, looking over the left. Again, we're doing a lot of stretching and opening for the side body. And a lot of people have been struggling with long sort of respiratory congestion. So all of these stretches and moves and fascia manipulation can just help with the lungs, help get things going. So if you find yourself sort of with a tickle in your throat or coughing, allow whatever's moving to move and come back to your table. Let's turn the toes under and lift up into a downward dog. Let's start with bent knees and then begin to allow the knees to just gently straighten one at a time. Nice calf stretch, stretching the arch of the feet. Come back to table. Walk the hands forward. Press the hips back for puppy pose or Anahata Asana. And slither into your Sphinx pose. And just let the weight gently rock from hip to hip. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. So visualize those shoulder blades drawing down the back of the body. Now staying here, we're going to be turning the toes under and lifting up into a forearm plank. Now you can have knees on the ground as well. Gaze is towards the floor, so the neck can stay nice and long. And see if you can breathe in, belly, ribs. Exhale completely, hold the exhale, and then imagine you're drawing the belly button back and up, Uddiyana Bandha. And then let the breath come in. 2 more times. Breathe in belly, ribs. Exhale completely. And draw the belly button back and up. Visualize that diaphragm flying up under the ribs. Breath in when you're ready. One last time. Exhale it all out. Belly button back and up. And release. Let the forehead rest on the palm of the hands. Gently nod the head, so you're lengthening the back of the neck. Press into the tops of the feet, press into the hips. Keep the forehead and the hands glued together and lift the hands up while you continue pressing the forehead into the back of the hands. And that should help to sort of engage the muscles on the neck. It's going to probably limit how high you can lift. And again, this is a really valuable back strengthening pose. And exhale, release down. Let the knees bend and windshield wiper side to side. And lower the legs down. You'll press up through table, back to downward dog. Walk the hands back to the feet. Deep knee forward fold, forearms resting on the thighs. Relax the head, the neck, the jaw. Begin to straighten the legs and then bend them. And time, pause. Next time the legs are straight, hands come to the hips and inhale. You rise up. Pause and invite a nice gentle back bend. And then inhale, rise up, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Bend the knees, chair pose or Utkatasana. And notice the shoulders of the shoulders up by the ears. See if you can draw them down the back of the body. You can take your arms a little bit lower if having them up here causes the shoulders to rise. And then inhale, reach up, pause with the arms extended. Flip the left palm up, grab the wrist, stretch to the right. Maybe take your gaze down towards the floor. See if you can roll your left hip back a little bit. Inhale back through center. Switch sides. Back to center. Exhale, release the arms down. Just roll out the shoulders. Now, does everybody have a tie or a long sleeve shirt, something they can grab onto to stretch out the shoulders? Okay, perfect. So I think we did this. I don't know if it was last week or not. Depending on the length, so I'm doubling mine over, so I've got about 18 inches, and I'm gonna hold this behind my back. You're gonna pull apart. As you pull the strap apart, notice what happens to the shoulders. A generous bend in the knees, and you fold forward. Let the shoulders come to the ears. So let the shoulders drop down. This is probably one of the very few poses where we invite the shoulders in yoga to come up to the ears. Keep pulling the thigh apart. On your inhale, keep the shoulders where they are, up by the ears, as you rise up. Now, it can be kind of tricky to keep them up here. And then exhale, let them melt down. We'll do that 2 more times. Maybe. So if that felt like you had a lot of room, you could take your hands a little closer together on the thigh. Keep pulling the thigh apart. Knees are soft. Exhale, fold forward. Let the shoulders come to the ears. You can straighten your legs as much as it feels comfortable to get a little stretch in the hamstring. But just be mindful of the lower back. If the hamstrings are tight and you straighten the legs, it could pull on the lower back. And now inhale, rise up, keeping the shoulders up by the ears. And then exhale, release. One more time. Maybe you come a little closer, pulling the hands apart. Exhale, fold forward. Shoulders are invited towards the ears. Inhale, rise. And let the shoulders melt down. Get rid of the tie. Just sort of maybe stretch out the fingers if you were really gripping on the tie. And then we'll make our way to the front of our mat for a couple of warrior flowing sequences. From the front of your mat, take a deep breath in, arms rise up. On your exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs. Nice long spine. Step the left leg back for warrior 1. Hands are on the hips. Time to adjust your feet. And then arms rise up. And let's flow in and out 3 times. And then pause. Let the hands come behind the head, clasp. And let the hands provide a hammock for the head. You can even use your thumbs on the side to just kind of massage out the neck. And then arms extend up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders down the back of the body. So again, this pose, they're not invited up towards the ears. And then exhale, step forward, release. Inhale, rise, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Step the right leg back for warrior one. Once you feel you have your foundation, your legs aligned, arms rise up. And then 3 times, flowing in and out of the pose. Just a nice way to warm up the joints, warm up the muscles before we do a deep hold. Pause in your warrior two. Hands make a hammock. Can you let the head rest? Notice what happens to the balance when you rest the head into the hands. You might need to rebend the left knee, press into the left big toe. And you can use your thumbs to just kind of massage behind the ear bones here, wherever it feels good. And then extend the arms up. So we've got a little bit more of an upper back bend. And then exhale, step forward, release. Right into the other side. Inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Left leg steps back, arms rise up. 3 times in and out. Pause after you've done 3. Flip the left palm up to the ceiling, grab the left wrist, and then stretch, arch to the right. So again, we're getting that space that we had the prop, the ball or the blanket under earlier. Have your gaze down towards the floor so the neck is at ease. And then inhale back up to the center. Release the hands. Step forward, right into the other side. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Right leg steps back, warrior one. Flow in and out 3 times. After you've done 3, flip the right palm up, grab the wrist, stretch to the left, gaze to the floor. Maybe you can roll the right shoulder back a little bit more. Can you feel that stretch between the lower rib and the hip area? Inhale back to the center, release the hands. Exhale, step forward. Right into the other side, last round. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Left leg steps back, warrior one. Now, can we do that diaphragmatic breath here? Breathe in, belly, ribs. Exhale it all out. Hold it out. Draw the belly button back and up. Uddiyana Bandha. You feel the need for the next breath. Allow the breath to come in belly ribs. Exhale it out. Uddiyana Bandha. Let the next breath inflate. Then deflate and hold the breath out. Uddiyana Bandha. Breath in when you're ready. Exhale, step forward. Right into the other side. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Right leg steps back, warrior one. We'll do that breath 3 times. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hold the breath out. Uddiyana Bandha. So just do this at your pace. When you're done, just hold for a couple of breaths. Step forward and release. Whenever you're ready, no hurry. Take a moment, just notice how the body feels. Maybe a little warmer. Nice. How's everybody doing?
Good.
All right. All right, so let's do a couple of warrior twos. Start by stepping the left leg back. Right knee is bent. Hips open up towards the long end of the mat. Cross the wrists, stretch the arms up. Good morning, sunshine. Arms release down. Let's flex the palms. So it's sort of that stop. You're a crossing guard here. Look to the left. Invite that stretch along the side of the neck. Come back through center. Look to the right. And now let's flow in and out. Straighten and reach. Bend and lower. A total of 3 times. After you've done 3, flip the right palm up and reverse. And we're getting that side body stretch. Now inhale through warrior 2. Take that right hand or forearm on the thigh. The left arm comes overhead. Spin that left shoulder back. Try not to sink into this forearm. And then inhale, you rise. One more reverse. And then inhale through warrior 2. Windmill the hands to the front. So you could have blocks or maybe the floor. Lift the back leg up. And then lower it down without bending it. Inhale, rise. Gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Right leg steps back, warrior 2. Let the wrist cross. Inhale the arms up and then stretch out. Palms are flexed. Look out over the right fingertips. And with the hands still flexed, come through center, then look to the left. Then back to center. Flip the left palm in reverse. Inhale through warrior two. Side angle. And then inhale through your warrior two. Reverse one more time. Inhale through warrior two. Cartwheel the hands. Right leg lifts without bending. Lower it to meet the left. Inhale, rise. And draw the palms down to the center of the heart. All right. You guys want another standing sequence, or would you like to go to the ground? Thumbs up for standing, thumbs down for ground. All right. I see, Dee Dee, can you do that again? One up, one down? You don't care. All right, and then lots of thumbs up. Okay, perfect. So let's do warrior two into triangle, because that will be a nice way to kind of continue with this stretching of the upper back. Start with the left foot back. You're in your warrior two. Now arms come out to the side. We're going to keep the knee bent initially. Stretch forward. So we're getting that action and then slide back. One more time, stretch forward. Pause here. Let that right hand come just below the knee, or maybe it's above the knee. Let's take that left hand and just let it rest on your hip. Press hand into leg, leg into hand as you straighten the right leg. Roll the left hip, the left ribs, the left shoulder, and then maybe extend the arm up. Now, where are you looking? How does the neck feel? This is a pose where sometimes the neck does not feel so good. If you change where you're looking, maybe you look down to the right big toe, or maybe to the horizon. Looking up to the ceiling seems to have sort of the most probability of having discomfort. So just another breath. And then bend the knee. Come into your warrior two and reverse. Inhale through your warrior two. Hands come to the hips, and let's come into that goddess stance where the heels are in, toes are out. And just let the weight kind of shift from side to side as you slowly sneak down a little bit deeper. Pressing into the feet, and imagine you even take your hands to the outsides of the knees. Press the hands into the knees and the knees into the hand, and notice how that fires up the muscles. And then inhale the arms out, bend the elbows, goddess pose. If you want to do around 30 Kapalabhatis, where it's a forceful exhale focused on the belly. You can join me. Deep breath in. And exhale, release. Let's turn the feet in so the outsides of the feet are parallel to the outsides of the mat. And you can have a block here or a tower if coming to a forward fold. That feels better on the lower back. Start with the hands on the hips as you flex forward. Now, before you even take your hands off your hips, imagine you're stretching the mat apart. And then imagine you're hugging the legs in. And then find the place in the middle where you're activating both the sort of internal and external muscles of the leg. And then if the hand doesn't easily touch the floor, you can use a block or a chair. Have the left hand on the prop or the floor, right hand on the hip. Inhale, get length. Keep the left hip where it is as you twist to the right. So you see how the hip, sort of our theme has been the hip following the ribs. We want to keep the hip back as the ribs twist. And then maybe you extend the right arm up. Now just check in with the neck. Maybe even make some little movements of the neck. And let the head find the right spot for itself. Exhale, come back through center. We're going to switch hands, right hand on the floor, left hand on the hip. Deep breath in, get length in the spine. As you twist to the left, keep that right hip just where it is. So feel the space between the hip and the ribs as the ribs move away. Maybe you extend the left arm. Legs are active. Exhale, come back to center. Hands on the hips as you rise up. Just heel toe the feet together. Take a little hop turn so you're facing the front of your mat. We'll walk to the front, preparing for the other side. Inhale, reach up, gentle back bend. Exhale, fold halfway. Press into the legs, nice long spine. Right leg steps back, warrior two. Arms open up, stretch out. Reach to the left and slide back. Like you're reaching for something on a countertop. You reach, reach, reach. And then let that hand lower where it will, keeping the spine as it is. And the right hand can come onto the hip. Straightening the leg as you press hand into leg, leg into hand. Roll the right hip, the ribs and the shoulder back. Find a comfortable gaze for your head before you even take the arm up. Let's prioritize the neck here. And then when you're ready, that right arm can extend up. Now, can you feel a little bit of an upper back opening here? Maybe imagine you're up against a wall. You can lean against the wall. And then bend the knee to come up to your warrior two and reverse. Inhale through the center. Heels turn in, toes turn out. Hands come to the hips. We'll just do a little flowing squat. So knees bend, you sink into your squat pose. Knees are directed towards the second and third toe. And then just imagine you're gathering up from the ground and you rise up. We'll just do that 2 more times. So you fold forward, gather what you're gathering, rise up. 1 more time. Rise up, straighten the legs. And hands come to the hip, just heel toe the feet together again. And then let's come to the floor. And have your strap within reach. And if you want to put your socks on, a good time to do that. I'm also going to suggest, I'm kind of making this up as we go along, have your blanket or your ball to your side so that when we do the spinal twist, we're going to kind of roll onto it. And so that's just an accessory. You don't have to do it. So you're on your back, you have your tie. And we take a couple of breaths. Breathing into belly, ribs. Exhale, hold the breath out. And Uddiyana Bandha. All right, let's start with the left leg. So take the tie close to the heel and extend the right leg up. Shoulders are relaxed, so the arms are straight, the shoulders stay on the ground. And then maybe you extend the right leg long. Now let's keep the right leg active. You keep the leg flexed and active. Let the right hand rest on the right hip. And then this left hand, you can give yourself as much tie as you need so the elbow rests on the ground. And then allow that left leg to stretch out to the left. Now keep pressing through the heel so the leg is straight. And you're looking for a nice stretch on the inner thigh. And then inhale, come back up through center, switch the tie. Now, I have the ball right next to my right rib cage so that when I roll over, I take that left leg over to the right, kind of resting right underneath my rib cage. As I breathe in, I can feel the ribs expand into my prop. Now that right leg is still active and flexed. Now, if you like to try one of those diaphragmatic breaths with the hold and Uddiyana Bandha on top, take a deep breath in. Exhale it all. Hold the exhale, draw belly button in and up. And just breathe in when you're ready. 2 more times on your own. After you've finished, a couple of traditional breaths. And then inhale back up to center. Remove the tie, just hug that knee in. So as I was doing that with this ball, I was thinking if you're using a rolled up mat or a blanket, you might want to actually have it long ways and have it across, have it across the whole mid back. If you're using the ball, you're just going to pick it up and place it, right up against the left rib cage. And then bring the tie onto the heel of that right foot. Shoulders are grounded into the mat. Just allow that hamstring to get some nice stretch. Tie in the right hand. Again, let yourself have as much tie as you need so the elbow touches the ground. And then that right leg comes out to the right. Inhale up through center. Take the tie in the left hand and then you twist to the left. And on this side, I think I've repositioned the ball a little bit better. So sometimes it takes just kind of playing around and feeling what feels right. We're going to do 3 rounds of the Uddiyana breath. You breathe in belly, ribs. And you exhale ribs, belly, and hold the breath out. Draw the belly button back and up. Diaphragm flying under the ribs. And just repeat 2 more in your own. After you finish, just enjoy a couple of just nice mindful breaths. And inhale back to center. Remove the tie, hug the knee. And the right leg long. Check in, notice if there's any movement or posture you'd like to take before Shavasana. Or maybe you're ready for Shavasana. Let's see where we are with timing. Yeah, we got time. So if you wanted to elevate your hips on either a block or the ball, certainly do that. If you do the ball and you extend your legs up, it's going to challenge sort of the core stabilizers a little bit here. Whenever you're ready, there's no hurry. Again, transitioning to the pose of integration, Shavasana. Allow your next breath to be a little longer, a little deeper. Allow your head to gently roll from left to right. Noticing if one side is a little easier than the other. And just pause on the side that's a little more restrictive. Relax the shoulders. And imagine you can direct the breath along the side of the neck, creating space. Your next breath in, slowly travel back through center and then look over the other shoulder. And back to center. And take a moment and just notice where the placement of your tongue is. Just notice where it naturally rests. And wiggling your fingers and your toes. When you're ready, making your way to your side, enjoying a moment of pause, offering yourself gratitude for prioritizing your body, your mind, and your spirit this morning. Ready? Slowly make your way up to seated. If you'd like to join me in a chant of Om, take a deep breath in. Om. Thank you guys for